After 20 years in the game, what makes you keep coming back?
The people. It's truly the people. I reflect in when you win everything and you're not liked by some, it's easy to walk away, but the joy I get from sharing the game that I love with people is why I'll always come back.
Michelle Vaeau is a veteran like few others. Driven, competitive and big-hearted.
I am just me. I'm so over this time of titles and pronouns and stuff like that, and they capture 10%, even less of what you need to know about who I am. I'm amazing. That's all you need to know. That's the pronoun. Amazing, ne?
From a young age, have you always known?
She was 2 years old in pink hats and rocking denim little outfits. I, again, didn't know what gender was until I got to primary school, and even then still didn't really click.
On discovering netball, well, that changed everything.
Instruction, goal attack, throw in.
And she's a skilled analyst of the game.
A few things that need to be positioning on court, and a lot of people are looking at you would probably, most athletes do. What do I need to work on?
Here she is breaking down my play as a former captain of the New Zealand men's netball team.
My strength as a coach is I'm going to tell you how to unpick the other person, but you do it how you want.
What's Michelle like?
Hard but fair.
Your honest thoughts about her being a coach. Is she the best in New Zealand?
Honest truth, yes.
What does she bring to netball that no one else can?
Just her wealth of knowledge about the game, both on and off the court, and also just how she develops you as a player. Yeah.
For the record, in her 30 years as a player and coach, Michelle has won the most national titles, but one particular year topped it all.
It's time for a piece of netball history. For the first time, the New Zealand men's team plays the Silver Ferns.
One thing I know is that in 2019, it changed the world of sport. Whatever sport it was, it changed the world of sport. I got messages from Barcelona who don't even play netball, of people that were like, this is epic. I think for me, to be the first openly trans, because it's probably someone in history that wasn't able to, and didn't find that it was safe enough. So yeah, it was surreal.
A monumental moment for a sport that is still finding its feet.
Thank you for having us. We are so humbled and grateful to be here to share this experience with you all. New Zealand man, 3 cheers for the fans. Hup, hup, hup.
I think the sport as a whole is at a tipping point of either succeeding or not. And we've got a lot of young people coming through our sport and our game. And I think we need to be really mindful that everything we focus on is about them.
Michelle's story is one of resilience and strength. Growing up in South Auckland, she developed a thick skin. She had to.
And my dad was like, tūturu, don't want to say it, but typical mangere father. And so a lot of my life was around being beaten up just for being who I was, doing something effeminate at home and then getting a hiding for it.
Did you ever forgive him for that?
No, I haven't. I believe in chosen family as my true whānau. May not have the same maunga or awa, but we have the same whakaaro and aroha for each other.
And netball was her safe place.
When I reflected on what was bringing me back and why I was going out of my way to find the game, it was the people. My mum was super loving, my father not so much, but when I met Mama Tere and Auntie Ra, it was that, that non-reciprocal love, it was just given. I didn't have to be anything other than me, and it was huge.
Ko ngā manaakitanga, kotahitanga, me te whanaungatanga, difficult in a time when the world is turning its back on ngā tangata I rāwhiti.
Stand up, fight back, the trans rights are under attack. Young girls and women are incensed that they are now being forced to compete against those who are biological males.
The science is out there, the stats are out there, the data's out there. Trans people are more likely to be attacked in a bathroom than do the attacking. It's 99% of them happen from cisgendered men, and they don't have a preference. It's about having power in the situation and about dominance.
Under the rules, those who transition from male to female can compete in the women's category.
And what about that thorny issue of athletes competing against the gender they identify with, rather than the sex they were born into?
Valerie Villi would kick my ass in weightlifting. Like, she's a phenomenal athlete. Like, I think there's so many more things in society that can be tackled, but this seems to be, because it's 0.01% of every population across the world, it's easier to tackle that than it is systemic racism.
For Michelle, like so many of us, racism goes with the territory. Always has.
When I go out the door, my shoulder's brown before the beauty comes out. So I have to face racism before I face transphobia, and that's the first obstacle.
Now, she's drawing on her rich and diverse life experiences to help others. She's a clinical lead working in mental health, one of her most fulfilling roles yet.
I went out on a ride on the Plunkett bus, which was notorious, Friday, Saturday night in Papatoetoe and Hunters Plaza for giving the street girls condoms. So I jumped in the van, went around and just giving people soup and condoms, which is so weird, and seeing how much, not even the transaction of kai, but the transaction of mana and wairua and spirit meant that I wanted to do that kind of line of work.
Mental health resources are limited for the rainbow community. Outline Aotearoa, the only one left standing.
But I've had a whole lot of sisters that have passed away through the HIV and AIDS epidemic, and then I've had a whole lot of people that I know that have committed suicide personally. It's really important that you go out and show what healthy relationships look like. I'll always go to sleep with my head on my pillow at night because I know that I've always done it from a place of aroha, manaki, and especially for those that don't have a voice.
And she puts it all down to netball, the one constant in her life.
Can you imagine your life without netball?
No, so I don't think I'd have one, to be honest. It's been such a lifesaver, and all my friends, all my employment opportunities, all my advocacy has come through netball. I cannot imagine my life without netball. But netball can't imagine its life without me, though.